got worlds to conquer.
This world is off limits. You were advised to jump to safe harbor immediately. Let me check my logs. All right, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
Touchdown, imminent.
Yes, sir.
Inside the barriers, double time! You with the Xeno unit? You head to command, far end of the compound.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were an eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like this. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander Hatum, I'm...
No need for introductions, Major Sinon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other? Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city. Still clear.
Heard you're going out there willingly. Damn. Can't chat right now. city much. Never for long. Already. Your ship?
It is a good day, yes? If there's anything you need, I am happy to share. Goodbye. For now.
Not bad.
I was beginning to wonder if you hibernate.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
Transfers complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to most facilities in the city. Systems should shut themselves back down automatically.
Duly noted, Commander.
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this? That's damn right we are. Come on, let's get out there. Kaiser, Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, take it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
Wherever you store them, the smell will not be an issue.
System suggests hostile area. Combat procedures activated. Deploying lethal countermeasures.
Oh, God. Focus.
Looks like the last of them. No sign of the morph, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
We close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Something important, or just... Did you need... Need to see what... I appreciate having your ear.
Samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. No. Earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I'm not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
We've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinium.
How can I assist? If I can take a few things, I will. Another time.
keeping you things warm. What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only. What's happening? Have you seen this? Oh my God. The heat leeches are terramorphs.
But heat leeches infest every settlement, every corner of the settled systems. That means that every single one... Oh no.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets. No, Lazarus plants can't grow anywhere but here, let alone blossom. People have tried. Plus, if what we just witnessed was happening anywhere else, well, it wouldn't just be Londinian lost to these things. What we just saw, it must be some kind of alternate growth method. One that winnows 70 years of maturation into seconds. It's incredible. Pretty major is right. But if what we just saw, if that's possible, the Lazarus plant, it's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up? But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks.
I wonder where they could have gotten such an idea, deploying alien life forms as weapons.
I wouldn't be shocked to find out our team, in part, inspired the approach, but our group never dealt with something that could have an effect like this. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test, someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the Terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. Oh, I am well aware, in particular because it leaves some big questions unanswered. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
Let's save the discussion
You
for
okay,
when you all are
Captain?
standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terramorph attacks, human caused or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is this way. Sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And we do that Captain, I think I see it.
You are a welcome diver. A good team always shares the load. Very good.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning, priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning, emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Sanon, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down small by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. Condemned this whole city to death. He's...
No, this was so much worse than that. He is a monster.
Yes. Exactly what we all thought he was. But if the plant was used to trigger the attacks, could Faye Victus have been involved in the massacre on New Atlantis? And even if he wasn't directly involved, I guarantee he knows something.
Victus is a monster of a human being. If he lives, of course he could be responsible for what happened in both New Atlantis and Londinium.
But I guess we're not getting any more answers right now. Come on, let's go get that last sample. Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
Sound good. Eyes peeled. Kaiser, and we're done. All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Something on your mind? I am May you find favor in all things.
galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
A pleasure. What have you got for me? We will speak again, I am sure. About time you woke. You have things to...
Captain, it is.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plan?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
I'm sorry, what? She's pulling my leg, right? Adrian?
I don't believe she is.
So that means we have a suspect.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain. Percival and I, we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But Vay Victus is the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get him to cough up anything he might know. Captain, I truly don't. He's already shown he's taken an interest in you. I'll be a lot more useful in the lab right now than I would be grilling Francois. So do you think you could do it? Please? Good. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you for dealing with him.
Seals are good, air pressure good. And we're docked.
How can I be of service, Captain?
May I be of service? Yes, of course.
I try not to trade in gossip, but if you have any verifiable information, I'm all ears. It's a little surprising, isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space, but it's just so quiet.
If there's anything I can do, certainly. Was there something you needed? Certainly.
This is United Colony space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please enjoy your...
Need some...
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
I trust you are well.
One day, I'm gonna leave Nimble.
hope... If there is something I can do, please, say so.
Authorized personnel. Everybody has to stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. Oh, my revenge was far from petty, Captain. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Easy to say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria, the pilot of the Warlock, the man I had to eliminate, to hide my secret. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. Something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While of course they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result, and none of it would have happened without my intervention. I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war, or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same, and leave my name out of the discussions to come. Hunting down criminals, and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down, and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
Always good to speak with a friend. We will speak again. I trust you are well.
Some other time, then.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him? Oh yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orlays. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the colony war. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this? Didn't say that. Just surprised to find out my former colleague is now dropping alien predators into unsuspecting cities. Just want to make sure we've got the right man. You're certain?
You'd said it was Reginald Orlays who was responsible for the attacks?
You're positive he's our man?
If he is responsible, let us hope the cabinet deals with it.
That's some impressive. So then give us... Oh, Captain, I'm sorry. I won't. Well, at least you won't. So I guess this might be... Then here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, is what I'm reading. The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well.
That appears to be the case, ma'am.
Reginald Orlays? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around a theater. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission, and who ordered it. This report contains definitive evidence Orlays triggered...
Simply.
Indeed. It seems both of you have our... Now, with our villain unmasked, with the threads you've brought together here, the three of you have likely spared thousands. As such, the cab...
A sound decision, madam.
I'm glad you... So then, to our final topic. The cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. The project we're embarking on will be a long and...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind them, using it to wipe out the Terramorphs.
And fast results always...
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but only the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division isn't...
Let us hope this science division truly...
Grand threats.
Order, please. And Major Sin... Dr. Walker,
We trust the captain's
then the matter is settled. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, as befits such a group. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens.
Class 1? For the 3 of us?
What he means to say is, thank...
Oh, yeah.
Then I expect you'll be. Now, Major Sanan, Dr. Walker.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, as a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, speak to your commander. Tuala, if he should be able to provide you with assignments going forward. On behalf of the whole of the United, this meeting is a...
Perfect timing. We just got in.
So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it?
Killed all those people because of a chip on his shoulder and an obsession with his own status. That sounds like Ve Victus.
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again.
I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that.
So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss.
This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the Cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was... Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up? I can think of numerous reasons why someone, after learning Victus is still alive, might want to correct that. So I'm not going to accept such a stunning claim without proof.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That will be up to the Cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note your request when the decision is made. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased. We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another. I'm not sure I like what you're suggesting. The UC's only though, I won't discount that perhaps your proposal could get us closer to that goal.
To be truly sure this cannot happen again, this is the only sensible course of action. Eliminate all possibility.
And once Ve Victis has been dealt with, this problem can end here.
And allow us to focus on the grander task to come. Very well. We'll clean up the plant. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcome.
As you can see, there remains... Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves.
I see. Captain. I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, it falls to us to enact every...
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied... The Science Division.
Let us hope this Science Division.
Grand threats.
Order, please. And Majors, Dr. Walker.
We trust the Cap...
Then the matter is settled. Today, as befit... Today...
Class 1?
What he means to...
Oh, yeah.
Then I expect you. Now, Major Sanat.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, as a...
Perfect timing. So on our end...
Means either plan should work.
Considering what I already sent... So what about... Did my father tell you? I knew it. What? Killed all those people. Well... I'm sure he did. So I guess... Unless there was more... This might be... And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. But according to he, is what I'm...
My God.
An attack?
You will all... So then is what...
Orlays. It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself.
He did what?
That...
Clearly, he made his own. Madam President,
enough! I hope everyone here... Now that's quite the... You have evidence?
It just...
Heavens help us.
I'd know that voice anywhere.
He knew they could do that.
He's a sociopath.
Officer?
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon.
Will, of course, be Lon. Though I have little doubt. Chief Yassine.
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else, we... I'm not sure I see what. Now, with the threads you've brought together, the three of you, as such.
A sound decision.
We're already discussing the...
To be truly sure.
And once Victus...
And allow us. Very well. Thank you for this. So then, the cabinet has a... In fact, the project we're...
Madam President, this...
To someone with limited... Using it to wipe...
And fast results.
As you can see, Major.
We've... Only the cap...
I see.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into
The first step in a bold new future.
bolder, better, and brighter. Well, I need to write that one down for later.
Order, please. And Major Sanan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding...
Class 1? For the three of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say...
Oh, yeah.
Then I expect... Now, Major Sanan.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander. Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help on behalf of the whole... This meeting is...
Let's all just take a breath. We all want to protect people from the Ashta. We're on the same side here.
The hell with that. This ain't the way things are done, and that's the end of it.
With due respect, I have repeatedly explained that I do not need permission. I came to you in the spirit of cooperation, but if this is the reaction...
20 years, done this work, and it has always worked. Always! Why are you trying to fix something that ain't working?
Mr. Woods, we can deal with the Ashta better, safer. We didn't turn down fire or space flight because we managed just fine until that point.
I will not be talked down to like this.
Okay. Miss Alpin, please don't take any further action until we've had some time to think this over. All right?
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the Ashta.
Even the Rangers have been impressed with how much human garbage you can take. Here.
I get all kinds in here. Rangers, traders, locals. I want to do your business quick. How about I just show you?
You ask me? Outlaws? You seem all right. I don't do payment plans.
Don't make me regret this now.
Do you have business with the Trade Authority?
So many little details and so many fingers involved in everything.
The Trade Authority looks... down to business.
Every gun, I think you'll find that... Here's what I have in stock. I'm pleased you chose to visit us. Let's get you set up.
Just do your business and move along. Then we'll be all friendly.
Ecology's our living thing.
think he would have liked what I've done here. He's so organized.
Elevated gravity. I suppose we are getting some extra exercise. You know? He is not here.
From another night.
I am disappointed, but relieved somehow. You're right. I'm sorry. Someone here must know more. We should inquire about him. Yes, Aggies. I have spent far too much time here. I do not recommend
Might not be the biggest selection in town, but our liquor gets the job done as well as any. I can guarantee you that.
If you got credits, spend them with Ethan. Or leave. If you're here about the blood stain, I'll get to it when I get to. No refunds. You don't like it, don't order it again. You ain't here looking for Erin. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I don't know. You tell me. You're the one blundering in here with her in tow, asking questions. I heard you, ain't deaf. She didn't ruin Aaron's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? Now, after all this time, you could have dropped in any time in, the last 9 years or so. Maybe that wouldn't have been too convenient for you, though. Aaron sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damn zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Aaron ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove them.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help. I should kill you where you stand. Fine. Fine. Let us leave this place at once.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Aaron, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
Yeah. Tough as they come, but I owe her everything.
We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience. Yes, I had not considered that his absence would affect others in the same way. It is better to overlook her reaction, then. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Aaron. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety. Stay safe. Good. You're awake. I was running out of knives to sharpen what...
Greetings, Captain.
Sheriff, I know Aquila City rather well. Perhaps better than I would like.
People around here think we own Aquila. They're wrong. The Ashta do. Friend, I gotta confess, I'm not much in the mood for conversation. I know, I shouldn't let that woman get up under my skin, but... well, I can't seem to help it. Not a shred of awareness in her. It's shocking is what it is. Look, this ain't New Atlantis. It ain't all flowers and chirping birds out there. These walls around us, they're here for a damn good reason. I've trained the guards here for years, again, for a damn good reason. We get it wrong, we not watching all the time, then the Ashta kill innocent people. That's the simple reality of the situation. So when someone struts into town with their untested ideas on how to do things better than those of us who dedicated our lives to protecting the city, that don't go over so well. This ain't help. This is thinking you know better than the people that have done it for years, decades even. It's just arrogance. Look, this is getting my blood pressure up talking about this so damn much. You think you can talk some sense into her? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you leave defending this city to the people who spent their lives doing it.
Well, you sure don't look like you're delivering the capacitors I'm waiting for. Something I can do for you? No. That's not really accurate. It is, however, slightly less openly hostile a reaction than I've gotten around here, so I'll take it. I'm not sure what you've heard, or quite frankly, why this seems to be getting around the way it is. Despite assertions to the contrary, I'm not attempting to run anyone out of a job, or open the city gates to allow Ashta to come pouring in. Nor am I in any way attempting to make a statement about the competence of the current security forces and/or apparatus in Aquila City. I hope that clears things up.
Well, that was definitive.
Are you? Huh. That's refreshing. I need to prove that what I'm working on can make a positive difference. Then you'll see it my way. I could really use some help, in fact, just to make sure this all goes off without a hitch. Would you be willing to place some sensors for me? That is great news. Just take these and stick them in specific spots in the city along the wall. When you're done, come find me. I'll find something to do in the meantime to give myself an air of plausible deniability.
If you are free soon, it is a relief to know that the Terramorphs are being dealt with. But are you sure this Acilis creature is the right way to do it? Where Terramorphs are concerned, I do not believe there is a way to remove risk from the equation. Perhaps an experimental microbe has its own risks, but what of the risks to who knows how many human lives until the Acilis can do its job? I suppose we shall. Not that it matters, since the decision... It is a relief, but are you sure? I can understand that line of thinking, but even when talking about a species like the Terramorph, this decision means the Terramorphs will remain a threat for years to come, if not longer. And that is assuming it works at all. It is too soon to know, and at least something is being done. Any effort is better than none. I will say, though, that I am glad you convinced them to destroy the Lazarus plant. Indeed. The United Colonies hardly has the best record in that area. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems.
for saving my husband.
sensors are pretty durable. I mean, don't go using them as target practice, and they're good to go. You got some good news, I hope? Perhaps there was a miscommunication somewhere along the way. I mean, I suppose I can pay you, but we hadn't really discussed that. Also, we're not quite done. So, this next part, it's a bit delicate. See that guard tower across the way there? I need to get in there and make a few small modifications to the terminal inside. I don't have the processing power to collate all the data that'll be coming in from the sensors. The existing network does. Oh goodness, I really am bad at communicating sometimes. I have that part well in hand. The, guard standing outside there, he's not gonna let me in. I need you to distract him.
Approaching from behind and going for a swift elimination would be effective, but perhaps a bit more permanent than we need right now.
I should only need a few moments. So, I don't know, convince him to take a break or something. Or if you're feeling particularly rebellious, maybe give him some official business to attend to. I believe it's what Davis would refer to as a ruckus. As soon as you've got him occupied, I'll scoot in and out before anyone notices. Okay? Let's do this.
I think I got them. What do you call them? Horns? Yeah, I got horns. What brings you to the wall? Boredom? Because if that's what you're looking for, you've hit the jackpot. Is everything all right? Okay, I'm going.
My research could open up more of Aquila to settlement. In time. That's all settled then. Thanks for the assist. Hope you're none too worse for wear. Oh, I intend to. Once enough data has been collected, I'll have the proof I need to convince them, especially Davis, that my technology is useful. If you're curious, come back tomorrow. I might even have preliminary findings.
Who needs a lot of money or possessions to feel good about my life.
Never spent a credit I didn't have to. That's what friends are for, right? I'm not asking for handouts.
You look like...
But if you got some extra credits... Right.
Go easy on Como, okay? Everyone mocks him because he's usually spaced out. But I think deep inside, he's in a lot of pain.
What?
I feel the exact same way. It's even worse if it chokes upon you.
And so our adventure continues.
Would someone really tamper with the data intentionally? I just don't see any other explanation. Oh, it's you. I got the data from the seismic sensors, and I need help. Nothing that would get you in trouble this time. Promise. Really? That's what matters to you? Wow. Okay. Well, no. I don't have any credits to offer you. I just thought maybe you'd want to help a friend. Are we friends? Well, whatever. I just need someone I can trust to help me. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. The sensors shouldn't cause any disruption at all. I checked the schematic 3 times. Oh, it's you. I got the... Nothing that would get you... Oh, thank you. It's really nice to hear that when others just don't seem to care. Remember the sensors you helped me set up around the city? Well, Davis Wilson is pretty angry about it. I suppose I should have expected that, but now no one involved with security is willing to talk to me. At all. And I really need to coordinate with them because the data I'm getting from the sensors is, well, it's off. Not what I expected at all. Kinda everything. The timing of the results, the strength of the signals. I did a lot of research on the Ashta before I started this project, and none of it lines up like it should. No, the tech is fine. I never would have put it out there if I had any reservations about that. Look, I know I screwed up here. I went behind Davis's back and did what he told me not to. I don't expect him to talk to me. But this, I'm not gonna lie, it looks an awful lot like someone has been purposely messing with the system. I can't just stroll up and accuse him of anything, but maybe someone, you I'm thinking, could just ask around, see if something's going on. I'd really appreciate it.
One day we'll crack sophisticated AI. Only a matter of time.
Don't you think it'd be...
Vigilance is what keeps Aquila City safe. Don't mean to be rude, but I got a lot of things on my plate right now, so unless this is important, I'm gonna have to ask you to come back some other time. Well, ain't that just about the last damn thing I need right now? Oh, is she? After going off and doing exactly what she was told not to, she's concerned now? She made my life a lot more difficult, but I don't have time to deal with that right now. I have more important things to worry about. Been tracking Ashton for a long time now, and suddenly their behavior doesn't add up. Probably not a coincidence. Maybe it would, but right now I don't give a damn about her data. Now I need to get back out there and get some eyes on this situation. Since you so interested, looks like you can handle yourself. You wanna join me? I suppose there might be some miscellaneous funds I can tap into. It won't be much, but it won't be nothing either. Gear yourself up however you need to and meet me at the gate. We'll head out from there. All right, you ready to head out there? Well, you certainly brought enough enthusiasm for the both of us. Just stick close to me, keep your head on a swivel, and you'll be fine. We'll be back before you know it. And maybe we'll get some answers.
Yeah, it's tough living here.
Let's keep going. The Ashton are clever. These tracks don't follow any other paths I expect them to. It just doesn't add up. Looks like the tracks head this way. What in the hell? This is one of our security bots. Someone sent this thing out to mimic the Ashton. What in the world? Shit. You hear that? Eyes up. We got incoming.
You have handled great mistake.
Ashta Burrow. Little company place.
Is that for selling later or personal use?
You know how to handle yourself. Most times someone encounters an Ashta, they panic. Not you. Now I got even more questions. Who in the hell did this, and why? No, I expect not. Someone from Aquila Security did this. We're the only ones that have access to these robots or can change their orders. I need to check this over, see if I can find some more details. While I do that, I need you to run back to the city. Check the access logs on the computer in the barracks. Look for whoever signed for this thing last. I'll meet you in the city when I'm done here. We need to get to the bottom of it.
So we're gonna have a house bomb?
That's what Mr. Tate is working on. We'll have to move out when construction begins.
A for real house, like the ones in the core?
It's not going to be a
Carrots are coming in nice.
It's almost reassuring to see that corporate mediocrity has wormed its way into everyone.
You didn't hear this from me. Those eclectic mercenaries? The factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted into space dust.
If it weren't for the walls, the whole town would be an Ashta buffet. Oh, hey there. Back already. Davis said something about you going on patrol with him? He's... he's all right, isn't he? Nothing, bad happened out there. What's that supposed to mean? Fine. I'm sorry. Look, people getting hurt was never part of it. Davis has just been so stressed over this whole thing with that woman and her sensors, and it's been affecting him on the job. The damn robot was just supposed to stomp around, mess up her data, and then come back. I didn't know it would rile up the Ashta so much, and it wasn't supposed to break down. It won't matter. I really screwed this up.
You could at least be thankful that leniency is being offered. The rock is surprisingly well fortified. The early settlers here were quite practical.
Everything good? We're here now.
We should be on our guard if we venture outside the city. The Ashta are quite formidable.
That robot could have killed people. The robot's internals are fried, so I came up empty. You have any better luck than I did? Know who's responsible? You serious? Oh, Bailey, what were you thinking? My own people sabotaging equipment. Whole world's gone crazy. Well, I'm gonna have to go deal with this. Thanks for helping out. I'll kick some credits your way. May not be much. Not made of money around here. You might want to give Miss Alpin some time to get clean data. Might be her research. Well, it might prove useful.
Seems like the crimson fluid is everywhere these days, spreading like a virus.
Can you even read Jim's inventory?
You need a magnifying glass for it.
It amazes me that anyone would spend credits on this, instead of taking a trip to see real alien life. About time you were awake. Something important or just conversation?
Hello.
Hey! How have you been? Staying out of trouble?
Is it zoned for commercial use?
This isn't the UC.
I suppose you could. Things here have been... well, they're better. The ISIS thought a bit between me and Davis. We'll probably never be friends, but at least we're on speaking terms now. I think he finally appreciates the value of my research. I know. I think we both realize that, and we're working on putting it behind us. In fact, Speaking of Davis, I have to confess, I'm a little worried about him. In analyzing the recent data, I've isolated readings suggesting that someone is making patrols far more often than in the recent past. I don't have any direct evidence, but I know it's Davis. It's gotta be. I'm worried that everything I've inadvertently put him through is kinda, I don't know, pushed him over the edge, or at least a little too close to it. I have recognized that Davis has an emotional reaction to my presence. We're on speaking terms, but he still gets agitated. I don't want to make things worse. I'm better with statistics and circuits than I am with people. I've already made a mess of this situation. Do you think you could go speak to him? If nothing else, it would ease my conscience.
I can't believe Bailey did such a bonehead move. Oh, brother. Why is it every time I see your face, I bet a headache's gonna follow shortly after? Maybe I will. Let's see where this goes. So what can I do for you? And there's the headache. Ah, that woman, I swear. Even though we've smoothed over most of the rough spots, she still manages to strike a nerve without even trying. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Not sure yet. When we were out there and we found that robot, obviously that threw me for a loop. Still can't believe one of my own people will pull a stunt like that, endangering us all. But the more I thought about it, that whole episode doesn't account for some of the tracks I saw out there. Too large, too spread out. I can't rest if something out there still ain't right. By now you ought to appreciate at least that much. If there's a bigger Ashta out there, something meaner than what we've seen so far, I have to know. I tell you what, if you and Kiona are worried, why don't you just come with me then? Either I get an extra gun in the fight, or you get to laugh at the old man and say, I told you so. I'll give you a chance to gear up if you need it. And, maybe grab the biggest gun you got, just in case. All right. You know, Keone showed me her data. She's a clever kid. She's got a lot of things figured out. I think we can make some real improvements in the future. She had a couple sets of data that she thought were erroneous or something. But it seems to me that it might not be. Bigger, faster, Ashta sounds like it matches up with the tracks I've seen. But I tell you, I'm hoping she's right, and it's just a glitch. And, no need to tell her I said that. Wouldn't want it going to her head. All right, here we are. Let's head this way. I remember a story from the first time I was here on Aquila. I had totally forgotten about it till recently. Every so often we get independent types who think that they can succeed where everyone else has failed. Some of them stride off into the wilderness, certain that they're gonna make more credits than anyone in history. Mining, botany stuff, whatever. Warnings just don't get through to them. Most of them don't come back. But this one time miner from some corporation or other, he drags himself back into the city bloody and half dead. seen Ashton big as a house out there. The older guy. Well, I was new as anything and just listened to him. Now, though, I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't just blood loss in the heat stroke. Maybe he really did. Maybe I should have come out here a long time ago. Shit, that's gotta be it. No matter what happens, you make it back to the city and tell them about this. You hear me?
Hey, be careful not to point that thing at me.
If we didn't have proof, nobody would believe us about the Alpha. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think we were gonna make it through that. If you hadn't been with me, no way I'd be standing right now.
We were here specifically to ensure you remain standing.
I mean, it does, and it doesn't, you know? We got out alive this one time. That's good. But this ain't gonna be the last time we have to deal with this. Now that we know these things are out here, we need to track them and keep them out of populated areas. And that plan is gonna need everybody. So, I'm gonna swallow my pride a bit here and ask you to go tell Keone what we found. Let her know that her data wasn't an error and that she needs to focus on it. No, of course not. I'm an old man, slow on the move. You can get there so much faster. She'll prefer hearing the news from you anyway. Thanks again for saving my ass.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Thanks for your service.
Davis should be more careful. The data shows the Ashta are more active. So, what happened? So, I was right? My data was accurate? I can't believe I second-guessed it. You know, I was really hitting a point where I was starting to think maybe this was all a mistake. That I stuck my nose into something I shouldn't have. Davis was so certain they had everything under control that they didn't want or need my help. But they did, didn't they? Yes, you're right. I need to reevaluate all the existing data. Who knows what else we can get out of it? I need to get to work on this immediately. But while I've been sitting around, I whipped up a little something for you. I thought it was funny. Now that I'm giving it to you, I'm hoping it's not in really poor taste. Anyway, thank you. Again.